everybody? Happy first Friday of July. I feel like we're finally hitting that really intense point of summer with 4th of July coming up and just so much in store in terms of live music and a lot of great things coming up. But in this next hour, we have a really ultra talented artist, deeply expressive when it comes to the lyrics and everything that she does. She pours her heart and soul into it. So without further ado, we've got Jen Furchess, aka Spring Summer. How we doing?
I'm good. How are you, Sam?
Good. And it's a little bit later where you're tuned in from, I believe.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast in North Carolina, so It's magic hour.
Is it just insanely humid over there right now?
Yes, but the best part has been the rainstorms. Last night it was like a typhoon. I got an alert on my phone, don't leave the house unless you need to. I was like, I wish I got that before I just drove half an hour through it.
What? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Well, I always love seeing the people that are tuned in and watching, like where they're tuned in from. So if you're watching right now, thank you for joining us for JaMHappyHour, and let us know where you're watching from, what you're sipping on as we ease our way into the 4th of July weekend. And happy almost 4th of July, everyone. So what do you say, Jen? We just get right into it with the first song and we can chit chat in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
All right. Oh, brother, I'm lonesome. Oh, brother, I'm down. The ground, it gets harder when I'm pacing around. A little bit weary and weak in the knees. Guess one could argue this is how it should be. Good morning, night, keep me alive. Keep me alive. Good morning, night. Good morning, night. Oh, brother, I'm lonesome. Oh, mother, I'm tired. I don't think I told you just how much I've cried. Keep counting the clocks, counting the days, swimming in moonlight, drowning by day. Good morning, night, keep me alive, keep me alive. Good morning, night. Good morning, night. Good morning, night. Keep me alright. Keep me alright. Good morning, night. Good morning. Lost, but I'm sure I remember your driveway. I've been here before. A little bit bleary and weak in the knees. Guess one could argue this is how it should be. Good morning, night. Keep me alright. Keep me alright.
This is Jen for Just Everybody Spring Summer, and that is, I believe, the second single you did for Dangerbird Records.
Yeah. I just did a little microdose with them, 2 singles.
Yes, I love that. And they're in the comments. They left a little heart. So shout out to Dangerbird Records. Oh, they left another. How nice.
They're the best.
And okay, so I love how that song, it has all these really nostalgic sort of moments. And then I went and watched the video, and I had read about how you kind of had this inspiration of forming like a vampire band, which I love.
Oh, thank you.
I was a big Twihard.
Okay,
Big Twilight fan way back when, yeah.
Me too.
I literally used to, as if I couldn't get any paler, I somehow managed to do it because I wanted to like look like the cast from the movie, and so I would wear a shade of makeup that was far too pale for me, and I thought it looked good. But
I remembered recently that I was trying to think of what books my daughter might be into right now. She's 10, and I was like, oh my God, when I was 10, I was reading all the Interview with the Vampire books. And I went to get her one, but it was like incredibly erotic. I was like, wait, how did I read all these?
right? Oh my gosh.
But yes, always been into vampires.
And is it your daughter who's a Gemini, or is your daughter the Taurus?
She's a Taurus.
Oh, okay.
She's a sweetie.
Okay.
Very grounded, which is nice because
Yeah.
I'm up in the clouds often.
I was going to say stubborn. I'm
Yeah.
dating a Taurus, so it's... But they're very loyal and amazing, and they like to snack, typically.
Yeah, my husband's a Taurus, and sometimes I feel like if I had to be stuck on a desert island, it's very like a Eagle Scout or something. Can figure it all out, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So how did that song, I'll get to the video in a sec, but for the song in particular, didn't you like find some inspiration through a batch of like demos that your cousin had?
Yeah, my cousin Jason had, we were working on a movie in like 2006, and every day he would write these little snippets of songs, and he just had so many of them. And one day he just put like 30 of them on a drive for me and said, here, you take these.
Oh my gosh.
And I was so shy to collaborate, and I never did anything with them. And then COVID hit, and all I've done is collaborate with people. But it started with that. I was looking for some inspiration and found that file and ended up putting 2 of those little snippets together and then writing some more stuff. And it was fun.
Love it.
And
then,
but yeah, 10 years later.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, sometimes the best things, they take time. Sometimes songs, videos, releases, they happen overnight.
Oh, yeah.
With that just huge influx of adrenaline and inspiration. But then sometimes it just needs a little more time to age and mature.
Like a fine wine.
Fine wine, yeah. So to everyone who's tuned in right now, speaking of wine, if you need to stock up prior to Sunday for 4th of July, you can get your wine and find it nearest you on our website. If you go to jamcellars.com/buy, we have this nifty tool. Basically type in your zip code, and then it'll pop up all the stores within your local area that supply our wines. And there's also this app, I don't know if you've used it, Jen, but really cool app called Drizzly. It's basically a food delivery service, but for the liquid diet. And it delivers your wine or beer or what have you within the hour, which is really nice, and wish that had been a thing like in college.
Right.
When you need some hair of the dog.
Probably good that it wasn't, though.
I know, this is true. We didn't have enough money back then.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Oh Brother, the video, I think it's super cool. It's almost like hallucinogenic in, visual form, and just the snippets where it's like the stop motion and the animation, I think is so cool. But how did you come up with the inspiration for that, or did you have help?
Yeah, I mean, I can't take credit for it. Did I turn? Yeah, the reverb's off. My husband was doing during COVID, he directed the video, and we have 3 kids, and like everybody with kids, we're stuck in that hell of COVID schooling. And so we just decided it was better to do it ourselves, which may be crazy, but So he taught our kids animation, and he was doing all this animation stuff with them, and I was watching it happen and like, oh my God, we should just make a video and the kids can like choose the images and I'll help them cut it out and it'll be so homespun. But then, you know, things always turn into, well, it would be even better if we brought in an animator. And but there was someone in his office who had some animation skills, and Roman had a cool reference of something that looked in that vein, that was a still art, a piece of art that he admired, and so we used that as inspiration. I wish I could remember the name of the artist, but and then he had done all this like second unit special effects stuff on Bram Stoker's Dracula back in the 90s. And I just thought that was so cool. So it was sort of all these things that he's really good at.
I love
inspired this thing that he made.
I love that his name is Roman also, because I feel like it's just on brand with that entire concept. It's so cool.
That's cool. That name is so, you don't meet a lot of Romans. And I had a funny experience taking Roman to a party, and I introduced him to another friend, Roman, when we were first dating. And it was like a total Abbott Costello moment where they were like, oh, I'm Roman, I'm Roman, I'm Roman, I'm Roman. I just went on and on forever because neither had ever met another Roman. So
I love that. That's so cool. Well, shout out to Roman, wherever you're at, and the other Roman also. Okay, so what do we think about doing 2 songs back to back?
Cool.
All right.
Cheers. Let's see. Get my effects going. There we go. I should have said before, this one, before the echo chamber, I've never played this one before, so we'll see how it goes. I've played it, but not for you. Waiting by the phone, never felt so alone. You're impossible. You're tuning my guitar. Was it me who went too far? You were irresistible. The longer they say you die a little every time. I won't mind. I don't wanna feel anything. I don't wanna feel. I'm taking it day to day. Well, I don't know what else to say. This is impossible. Melting into your kiss. I never thought it would end like this. We were indivisible. The longer goodbye, they say you die a little every time. I won't mind. I don't wanna feel anything. I don't wanna feel anything but you. You. They say you die a little every time. I won't lie. I don't wanna feel anything. I don't wanna feel anything for you. You. so I'll forget to dream. I'm just gonna leave the reverb on, you guys. I made a little set list. Ah, yes. This one's called Not Long Ago. Not long ago, we were mesmerized by the Ferris wheel. Learned to smoke, borrowed the car and returned the wheel. Running blind, there's no God, till we grow strong enough to carry on through a life that's filled with song and pain. Each passing yields the next refrain. Now you're gone, still the sadness lingers on. 20 years have come and gone, my friend. Will I see you again? Scott told a joke, but Shelby's eyes said you've misunderstood. Ben held my hand, but Paul drove us all around the neighborhood, where we played and we cried in the days that you died, till we grow strong enough to carry on through a life that's filled with song and pain. Each passing yields the next refrain. Now you're gone, still the sadness lingers on. 20 years have come and gone, my friend. Will I see you again? I hear your voice across the sea, wash over me with a smile upon your face, so gracefully. Put your heart in my hand, you'll live again. Now you're gone, still these memories carry on. I'll sing them in this song for you, my friend, till I see you again.
Woo! Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you.
This is Jen, everyone. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. This is JaMHappyHour, the first Friday JaMHappyHour of July. I don't know how we have managed to make it to July of 2021 already.
Wild.
It's wild. I feel like, I don't know about you, this past, year and a half has in some ways just dragged out and been so slow and at times felt so hopeless, but then there have been these very hopeful moments, especially a lot of the times when I think back and time's been flying, it's related to hope, related to music. With the live music coming back, I didn't realize before the pandemic just how important music really is for sanity and expression. So thank you, and thank you to like all the artists out there that have continued to just keep on keeping on, because I know it's not easy. I can't imagine doing it.
Yeah. It was so devastating at first, but then a lot of people I know just sort of dove into making music, and not everybody. I think for some people it was just so catastrophic, everything that was going on, that they couldn't access that part of their brain. But I found it to be a really nice escape.
Right.
Just
And
collaborating with people that were also stuck at home. And
yeah.
also I have a lot of friends that were able to like, I took guitar lessons from someone I admire very much. Well, I took one and then I never got back to it, but I was so excited about it. But a lot of people I know were like, oh my God, you can. My brother-in-law was taking chess lessons from this pro who was stuck at home and started giving lessons over Zoom. And so there were
cool.
exciting things happening
Yeah.
throughout the apocalypse.
And I mean, right now, you know, you're all the way over in North Carolina, and on a typical sort of day or in your normal circumstances, this maybe wouldn't even have been an option to have you perform for us, for Jam Sellers, and have this sort of collab. And so in that sort of sense, it's been a blessing because we've had so many connections with musicians that, you know, we may have not been able to meet, even if it is
Yeah.
virtually. It's
Yeah,
really
no,
cool.
it's so cool the way people like you guys like jumped on the virtual aspect of things and made it happen.
Yeah.
Because that's, I wonder how much of that particular shift will stick as things open back up.
I know.
But considering there are fewer venues and every band out there is like desperate to tour and make some money. So
Right.
the venues that are there are booked till eternity, it feels like. But so it's nice to have this virtual option continue.
Right. I feel like there's definitely a sense of community. Just rifling through a bunch of different musicians or just anyone really that has a bigger following on any social platform that has been posting these live concerts or live shows or podcasts. There's this like cult following now with those sorts of things. And I think though it may not continue to the extent that it has in terms of the frequency, I think that it'll keep happening. I think it's something cool for people to kick back and feel a part of at home.
Yeah.
Kind of a safe space for people, which is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was reading in an interview, I can't remember which interview it was, but you were talking to someone about how like one day your kids, they'll be teenagers, they'll become adults, and press releases that they might see about like the decade where, you know, you were a busy person and talking about like your dreams. And you ultimately said, it's me, not you kids. But I feel like with that being said, like you probably have learned a lot from your kids and maybe like your eyes have been open to a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I feel like it became kind of a fun story. Like, oh, Jen's making music again after she had to like go have these kids and be away from it. But it was a beautiful thing in a period of my life where I wasn't making music because I kept having these babies. But they're...
Takes a toll for sure, but in a good way too.
Yeah, and it became really hard to figure out how to make music in that environment. But I mean, in the same way, what we're talking about, like COVID, and you reprioritize and you learn things about yourself. It's very related. The experience I had stepping away from music for 10 years to raise some kids.
Hey, you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks.
It's hard enough as it is to like try and remember to feed yourself or, you know, get to bed on time and wake up on time. But like,
Yeah.
you're killing it. Doing great.
Well, there's definitely a conflict within me because I felt like, okay, let's just do this baby part and then I'll get back to what I was doing before. But now I'm realizing I'm in the a different phase of things with the more emotional aspects of parenting.
Yes, because your 10-year-old, she's a Taurus, and then you've got a Gemini. And how old's the Gemini?
He's 5,
Okay.
and he's adorable. So far, that like twins personality thing is just it's cute.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're mad. In 5 seconds, you're gonna be giggling.
right.
And then I have a Cancer who is another water sign like me, so I fully relate to his sensitivity level. But yeah, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. And how old is the Cancer?
Today's July 2nd. He will be 8 in 12 days.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a countdown for like a month and a half, and the math is so hard for me.
I feel that.
Like, what was it yesterday? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. What month is it? It's July 2021?
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, so before we get into more music, I'm also curious, like in this past decade and a half since Seawolf, how do you feel, if at all, like your creative process? How has that evolved? Or is there anything that you've completely stripped and changed in terms of, providing lyrics to a melody to match? Or I don't know how you started off making music. Some people start with the lyric or the plot, the core idea, and then move on to the vocals and the lyric and the instrumentals.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's a decade and a half since that, playing with Seawolf. But yes, this is like my favorite subject ever. I never got into podcasts until I discovered the ones that talk about this subject. And there's a great book called Songwriters on Songwriting. That's like a Bible written by, now I'm spacing on the writer's name, but he was a journalist for a music magazine, and then he condensed it down to like the best of. But you can, it's a good bathroom book, but you can read these little stories, interviews with artists about their songwriting process. And those are things that I listened to and read when I had no idea how to write again. And I left Seawolf because I wanted to make my own music, and I did, and then I got pregnant and got caught up in that. But for years I was so frustrated, like making these little demos on my phone, and obviously as the technology progressed, those sounded better and better, which was exciting, because when they sounded bad, it was really disheartening. But I just finally had to change my process. My husband was always saying, like, just do it differently, like, because I would say, I need to be alone for 2 weeks in a room to write. And he's like, that's never going to happen. Find another way. And so I just started compiling these little demos, and I would relabel them. Like, I like this bass line, or I made a document of all the lyrics I liked, and I threw away all the rest of them, or I put them somewhere else so I wouldn't. Sometimes I look at them, they're still bad. But then I made a record that hopefully will come out soon, that was kind of a compilation of those 8 years of demos. And the same thing as Oh Brother, like putting Jason's demos together and adding some to it. I did that with my own music, and it's cool. I don't think I'll ever go back. And now I'm starting to write with other people, which I was always so shy to do. And that's been really a thrill to, the more I see other people's different processes, the more I feel like I can try different things and be more open-minded about songwriting. But I do typically, the guitar is in hand and the words come out, and I might change them later, but it comes out as something all at once, and then I edit.
Yeah, so you're cracking me up because I like writing things out. I don't like typing things on the computer. I don't know if you're that same way, but
I have terrible handwriting.
yeah, once I'm like, I have a lot of ideas going on, it gets so bad, but my actual handwriting, if I'm trying, it's pretty good. But yeah, that's when I know I'm being creative.
Yes, exactly. When you can't read it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let's use some context clues here. What am I trying to say? But, it's the coolest thing, whether it's just journaling or lyrics in your specific situation, going back years later, even if it's still shit, just reading and just remembering what you were doing in your life at that point in time when you were writing it out or had that thought. And, so I'm very much wary about throwing notes away, because I like looking at them like 10 years later. It's really
totally cool. One of my regrets in life, I try not to have too many, but I had a journal when I was like 15, 16 that was just total teen angst poetry, like I hate my parents kind of stuff. And I had this cathartic moment when I was in my early 20s where I was like, I need to just shed this, and I threw it away. And now in this mindset where I'm pulling things from old stuff, like there was probably so much stuff in there that I could have used, like all those old treasures from,
Right.
I mean, I don't need to write about what it's like being a teenager, but just, it would be cool to revisit.
Like, Danny looked so cute today in math class, 5th period at 2 p.m. Looked adorable. I hope I marry him one day. And you're like, oh boy, what is that
I
person
know.
up to
Well,
now?
thank God I was not at all boy crazy until much later. But
There you go.
yeah.
And you ended up with Roman. I've never met any Roman other than the Roman you're discussing. He sounds like a fine gentleman.
Thank you. Yeah, he is.
Taurus, so stubborn, but loyal and really cool.
Yes. Yes.
So, real quick before we get into another song, or a couple songs actually, back to back. So the people watching, they can find your music, Jen, at, is it springsummermusic.com?
Yes. And then I'm pretty active on Instagram, which is Spring Summer 2K.
Okay, there we go. And I think it's Spring Summer 2K on Facebook too.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have such a hard time with social media, but I do Instagram. It's like my one. There's so much now, like even just to keep my website updated, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, even here, it's so funny to me, all the stuff that, thank goodness for your tech guy, Greg, who's an angel.
I know.
But the things that musicians have to do right now to play music, I don't want to sound like a whining baby, but it's so much more stressful than actually just playing music, getting all the stuff set up. But
I feel like it's gonna make the tech people at concerts and festivals that are now having to do stuff, they're gonna get a lot of like free shots and free everything, because people are gonna come out of the cave they've been in for a year and a half, get on stage and be like, dude, you're doing the things I've had to do myself for the past year and a half. Here, take this.
yeah, I know. I cannot wait.
Oh, so exciting. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna cheers you, my dear.
Oh, thanks. Cheers.
Cheers to everyone at home watching. Make sure that you check out springsummermusic.com and springsummer2k on Instagram. Hopefully we will get a taste of some new music sometime in the near future from Miss Jen here. So
I have so many things to put out now, so many plans. It's
so exciting. So yeah, keep yourself updated, especially on Instagram, if you want to learn more and just know when everything's coming out. And if you need some wine before the 4th of July, the 4th of Jamly, then head on over to jamsellers.com/buy and check us out, whether you want to buy it nearby in your neighborhood or order it on an app or get it delivered. We've got all the options for you. And gonna get into some more music. You ready, Jen?
In your chariot, I'll fly away. Let's leave the bullshit for another day. And when those shadows come, I'll know what to say to make the bad times float away. 'Cause I don't wanna fight. Drop your armor, this is our lullaby. And when the war water falls from my eyes to yours. You best believe we can stay the course. And when you get to that silver moon saloon, don't you worry, I will be there soon. 'Cause I don't wanna fight. Drop your armor, this is our lullaby with light in our eyes, arms open wide. We are a circle with no side. And I don't wanna fight. Drop your armor, baby, this is our lullaby with light in our eyes, arms open wide. We are a circle with no side. Bow your head and say you love me in a different way. I'll believe you when you do not turn your eyes away. I think you need to analyze the feelings that you may be hiding in your lies. Dwell on yesterday, you'll never make it through the day. Count your deeds and on the light up each and every word. Say a blessing for the friends who are gone, they've had their fun. It's time for you to get off your ass and move. Well, you don't know how it makes me feel, the way you sit there and pretend this isn't real. You don't want me anymore. Bow your head and say you'll find me on another day. Make believe you reappear to tell me everything. I think your lies have gone too far. Now are you listening? I'm tired of your excuses. Lift your head and speak the truth from deep within your heart. You will find it, oh, it's been there from the very start. With these words we'll learn to love and we will grow apart. It's time for you to say farewell and leave. You don't know how it makes me feel, the way you sit there and pretend this isn't real, that you don't want me. Oh no, you don't want me. Oh, why don't you love me anymore?
Woo! Jen Burgess, everybody. That was Bow Your Head, and I love that. I love that song. It's like, it gives everyone a little taste of what has yet to come. It is this perfect balance of like this melancholy, sort of bittersweet sort of vibe, but the chorus and just the strings and every part of the instrumentals kind of balances with the different levels with the vocals.
Oh, thank you. That was my good friend Patrick Park produced that song, and he really took it to another level. I'm so grateful.
Heck yeah. And did Roman direct that video too?
He did. I have this other life as a script supervisor, which is kind of a confusing role, but I'm involved in films and commercials. And we did a commercial together. I was working with Roman, and we wrapped early, finished early, and everyone just agreed to stick around. So I like frantically called my band and got them to drive to Long Beach in crazy traffic, and everyone sort of stalled. And so it's like a super fancy video that we just did kind of on the fly.
And it was like a single unbroken shot that was taken, right?
Yeah, the commercial we were working on was using this motion control camera. So you program in all the moves. So we took like 40 minutes to get all the marks, and then it's just programmed, and you push a button and the camera goes. I shouldn't say that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure the motion control guy was doing a lot.
Dude, you sounded like you knew what you were talking about. So, yeah, so that, the people watching, if they want to go see that video, it's on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, on the Danger Bird YouTube channel.
Awesome. Shout out to Danger Bird Records. If you guys are still out there, cheers to you. Cheers to everyone. Just cheers to making it through the week.
Yeah.
And another week and just keeping on. I think that's an accomplishment for everyone at this point in itself.
Always.
So
TGIF.
TGIF. Now, are you going to do anything fun over in North Carolina for the 4th?
I am going to go out on a boat on Lake Hickory with my dad and maybe my sister.
Okay.
See some fireworks.
Love it. And what kind of boat? This is important.
Like a little speedboat my dad's had for a million years.
I love it. Like I was picturing you guys on a little like canoe or something. You never know.
No. I was about to say, oh, maybe I'll water ski, but I did that a few weeks ago for the first time in too long, and it was really hard to go up and down the stairs for a few days after.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that like, it's like the best feeling, like, oh, okay, I did accomplish something because I'm super sore, but then also you're like, well, should I be feeling this sore? Do I need to be working out more?
Yeah.
It's once in a blue moon for me. So
Yeah,
I need to get better.
Well, I do Pilates over Zoom with my friend Stephanie, and it's just the most wonderful thing. I don't have to leave my house. I love, there's aspects of what has happened that have just been so incredible, and that's one of them.
Right.
But the muscles that one uses trying to water ski are different than the Pilates muscles.
Now, I don't know what they call, basically, so it's like water skiing, but instead of having a set of skis that you're being pulled by a boat by, then you have a surfboard, and I don't know what the lake surfing, I don't know if that's the term, but
it's so wild. My cousins were posting all these videos on Instagram of them doing that, and I was like, where's the rope? Like, I don't understand. And then when I went water skiing, the young, handsome ski instructor guy was saying, hey, do you want to try this? I was like, not in front of you. Like, I think I don't even understand how it works.
No, I wish I had a video. Well, no, I don't. I don't want to ever see that footage, but of me trying to do that, because it was insane. I couldn't even like get my head out of the water once I fell, and I never stood up on the board, but maybe one day.
I do want to do the one where you like go up into the sky. I don't know what that's called.
Oh, parasailing?
I guess so, yeah. You're like, you start sort of skiing behind a boat, but you end up like 30 feet above the water or something.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm thinking of. I've done that once in Lake Tahoe, and that was a lot of fun. It's definitely a little bit scary if you're afraid of heights. But for me, it was like that perfect balance because I would never go skydiving or bungee jumping or do anything like that. But it kind of gave you just enough of that adrenaline rush where it was a good time, but I probably won't die, you know?
Right. I jumped out of an airplane when I was 18. I wouldn't do it now that I have kids, but it was a total thrill. But we were at like, 15,000 feet. And I went with all my friends. It was my birthday. And one of us happened to ask what the matching tattoo was that all the instructors had, because you go tandem with someone attached to you. And it was like an RIP of one of their friends who died parachuting.
Right before you were jumping out of
Yeah.
it.
But I have since decided that they were fucking with us, and they all got drunk and got this tattoo to mess with people that went up in the airplane because it was just so unsettling. And I think I have that thing in my brain where I'm not afraid of much, like Free Solo guy from that movie. But in that moment, I was terrified, and then you have to jump.
Well, if you're watching right now and you remember being her tandem, tandem instructor or tandem just accompanying person, let her know, were you fucking with her?
Right, or, true or false?
True or false?
Although now I feel bad saying that because maybe their friend really passed away. But
oh man, that's a rough situation. But you lived to tell the tale.
Yes, it all.
So that's good.
That's the thing. All that stuff. The risk is so low. I mean, it's worse to drive through a typhoon in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
This is so true. That's why every time I get scared when I'm taking off on a flight or we're landing, I'm like, well, you've gone 80 miles an hour on a freeway in California, so this can't be any worse. Real quick before we get into this last little bit here, I wanted to go back to the song Our Lullaby, because I was wondering, did that have anything to do with children, the creation of that song, or was that unrelated?
It's more, this is hard to talk about the personal aspects of songwriting, but in a sense, it's more about marriage. And my husband and I have been together for 18 years, so you have your ups and downs, and that's sort of like coming out of a down time and just wanting to like get through it together. Yeah. My friend, I'm here in my hometown, and my friend from high school sent me that chord progression, and then I wrote the lyrics, and then there's a recording of it that'll come out someday, I hope. But it was produced by Aaron Embry, who has played with a lot of people, Elliott Smith and Daniel Lanois, and he put the most beautiful piano part over it. And he had a song come out today that's very good. So it's fun to see everyone's helping other people make things and also making their own things.
Yeah, heck yeah. And you said it's Elliott Smith?
Aaron Embry.
Aaron Embry.
Was my producer, and he had been a piano player for Elliott Smith.
Okay, well, you heard it here, everybody. Make sure you go. I don't know what the Instagram handle is for Aaron, but check him out.
It's a tricky one. Erroneous Ambergris.
Oh, like Hamburg? Wait.
If you just go to Spotify and look up Aaron Embry.
I love it.
It's a song called Wanna Be King, and it's great.
So cool. Well, shout out to Aaron. And real quick, I've got a little joke for you before we head into another song, the last song. Why couldn't the pony sing a lullaby?
I don't know why.
She was a little hoarse.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Now you take a sip now. To forget about that awful joke. There you go.
I feel like everyone knows this one, but what did 0 say to 8?
I don't know. You tell me.
Nice belt.
Oh. my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna take another sip. Hey, if you're at
wash it up.
home, take a sip also. It's Friday. We've made it. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers.
Shout out to you, Jen. Shout out to everyone watching.
Thank you, Sam.
All right, what are we gonna hear for this last one?
This last one is sort of an interesting one. It's called Mountaineer. And I wrote it in 2009, and I was playing it live at that time, but it was in 6/8 and just a beautiful folk song. And then I started working on a record with my friend Jennifer Lindberg, Jenny Lee from Warpaint, and she really kind of was crafting it into more of a rock song, which was fun. I hope you guys can hear it someday. And my cousin Jason plays drums, and he really was like, oh, you got to do it 4/4 rock and roll. And so it's, of all my songs, it's had the most progressions over time, and I'm really happy with where it's ended up.
Cool, I'm excited to hear it.
Hope you like it. Get my effects going. All right.
I was alone before they brought you here. Sitting out the storm, it's been a heavy year. The rain clouds your eyes, I can feel your fear. I've been hardened by you, darling dear. Still there are days I long for you. I am tough as nails, I am a mountaineer. I will climb these jagged peaks and leave the valleys for you, dear. I am a mountaineer. You never knew me with my heart open wide, wanting nothing more than to be by your side. The rain clouds your eyes, I'll say it's justified. I'm all torn up, still there are days I long for you. I am tough as nails, I am a mountaineer. I will climb these jagged peaks and leave the valleys for you, dear. I am a mountaineer. I thought I could hold you. I thought I could. I thought I could hold you. I thought I could. Still there are days I long for you. I am tough as nails, I am a mountaineer. I will climb these jagged peaks and leave the valleys for you, dear. I am a mountaineer. I am a mountaineer. I am a mountaineer.
Woo! Thank you, thank you. Jen Purchase, everybody. Spring Summer. Make sure you go to springsummermusic.com, go to Instagram, hit the follow button. It is Spring Summer 2, the number 2K. And that's where you're going to keep yourself updated for the most part when it comes to anything that's going to come out in the near future in terms of music, which is super exciting. And any plans for touring or performances?
Yeah, I think nothing planned now, but I'm hoping to do some stuff in LA in November, December, and then go out and support a new record. We'll see, but March maybe 2022.
Yes, Jen's birthday month.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you got it. Couple things before we head on out of here into our 4th of July weekend. Why are mountains always tired?
Oh, I don't know why.
Because they don't ever rest.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that in a million years, but it's good. That's a good one.
And how do mountains hear?
How?
With mountaineers.
Are they clapping for you for your joke?
No. Sure, yeah.
Perfect timing. I gotta remember that one.
I'll send it to you when I send you your birthday stuff.
Oh, thank you. This has been so fun.
So much fun and just so exciting to gear up for the summer and with live music back. And hopefully we can get you over here from North Carolina over to Napa and have you perform, because we are back to live music in our tasting room where I'm at.
I would love it. Great.
Super exciting. Well, thank you so much, Jen.
Thanks for having me. What a blast.
Thank you, everyone who's tuned in today. And we'll see you next time. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. And thanks for the wine.
You got it.
Cheers.
Cheers.